Details are gradually coming out about a deal of the century that U.S. President Donald Trump has devised to solve decades of conflict between the Israelis and the Palestinians. This comes after Jared Kushner toured the Middle East last week to discuss it. There are speculations that the U.S. basically wants the Palestinians to literally give up a cause they have been fighting for over the past decades. But this overlooks decades of atrocities by the Israelis against the Palestinians, and it will also be against all international efforts to retrieve the rights of the Palestinians and hold the Israelis accountable for their present and past crimes against the Palestinians.
People are very justified to have doubts about this so-called deal of the century, is that there is a very big chance that what Trump is going to eventually suggest is giving up all custody over the city of Jerusalem by the Palestinians, giving it up to the Israeli control. And secondly, there is also allegedly no mention whatsoever about removing illegal Israeli settlements on the West Bank within internationally recognized Palestinian lands. But the removal of this, which has been demanded by the United Nations for several decades, that this demand would no longer be demanded by the United States, and that there basically would be absolutely no guarantee whatsoever about protection of the Palestinian people or any form of justice being done for Palestine.
Over the past decades, the Israelis repeatedly drew the condemnation of the international community for a history of crimes against the Palestinians. Now, Kushner has been quoted by the media as saying that Palestinians should leave the memories of Israeli crimes behind. He has openly dismissed the traditional Palestinian core issues like the return of refugees, a fully sovereign state including East Jerusalem al-Quds, and the end of Jewish settlements in the West Bank. But what justifies America's efforts to gloss over decades of hostile Israeli agenda against the Palestinians?
We're still talking about hundreds of thousands or even millions of Palestinians living in countries like Lebanon, like Syria and Jordan, people who have been living there sometimes since 1948 and others since 1967. So these are generations of Palestinians who want to return to their land, whose right to return has been denied and will most likely continue to be denied if this peace plan will be accepted.
Kushner has also been quoted as saying that President Trump's deal of the century would envisage a much better life for the Palestinians. This assumes that the Palestinians should put material self-interest before their struggles to retrieve their rights. But what about all the years of Israeli killings of Palestinians? All the years of economic blockade on Gaza, the wars which left many Palestinians killed, and many other instances of Israeli atrocities.
This is indeed a clear violation of even the slightest bit of negotiated settlement. It's a betrayal of what even the supporters of Israel so far always pretended to support. Even the people who always claimed that Israel was in the right always said that they wanted a negotiated settlement, that they wanted a two-state solution, but even that is apparently being thrown into the dustbin by the Trump administration in favor of a full-on Israeli domination.
Many believe that President Trump's deal of the century is in many ways against human values as far as the rights of the Palestinians are concerned. Besides, it is still not clear how it should guarantee that a decades-long conflict would simply disappear. There are serious doubts that the Palestinians would simply close their eyes to a history of Israeli crimes and also forget about their basic rights in favor of economic gains. And these make the deal of the century an unlikely compromise to make.